Hey guys, it's Zach. I just wanted to do a quick video for you to show you my hero's journey, how I went about doing it, and I'll just try and give you a few ideas of what I was doing once we got into it. Here, we're going to just open it up. I'll first show you what I did for my veterans. I tried to do this as cheap as possible. I'm not a whale and I wasn't spending. I didn't even buy the vets pack. I just saved perps for a long time. So here's veteran Chewy and what all I put into him. And as you can tell, there's not too much on there. Here's veteran Han. I think I got him maybe up to G9. And again, his stats aren't anything spectacular either. I was just kind of hoping that my Finn and Ray would carry me through most of these events. You'll see that we are starting on Tier 2. Unfortunately, I started Tier 1 the very first day this came out and realized I wasn't getting very far, so we'll pick up at Tier 2. Here's my BB-8. He's pretty decent. I got him to G11 the other day, so I was thinking as much as, or as long as he was going to be in some of the battles that he'd be okay. And here's my Finn. I did put a Zeta on him, and I'm not sure how much that really helped for this battle though, or this journey, because you're not going to get a lot of those exposes, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure he didn't hurt any, and it probably reset some of the cooldowns on some stuff. Speed up the battle scenes a little bit just so you don't have to sit here and watch the whole thing go through in slow motion. I wouldn't say that this tier was too difficult. A lot of it was just who was ever low on health. BB-8 kept doing his potency give, and then once he got up Illuminated Destiny, everything kind of went through pretty quick. So all in all, it wasn't too bad of a tier. I would definitely say I wasn't hurt by Han and Chewie being relatively weak. Between Zen and BB-8, it really wasn't too big of a problem. This next tier I was probably a little more worried about, only because it was matching up my Han and Chewie with only Finn, and I really didn't have the support of another strong tune, so I wasn't real sure how they were going to hold up. It didn't turn out to be too awfully bad. You know, I think Finn helps a lot when he can stun, and you know, if he does hit an expose and somebody erases it, it just drops one more cooldown, because one thing I definitely noticed was Chewie's special is pretty nice. I don't know that there's a lot of room anywhere for him in a lot of different tiers, except for maybe just running with some scoundrels, but he at least hits hard and he's got a good special. I'll finish up 3 of 4 and go into 4 and 4. I was just going to talk about the event a little bit. A handful of guys from my guild were asking me how I was able to do this free to play, and basically what I ended up doing was for the last 2 months I did nothing but save the crystals, perps as we call them. I was placing in fleet in the top 20 every day and tried to get in the top 20 in arena every day, and by doing that I was getting at least 400 perps a day from that, and then that doesn't count anything else or EA screw-ups and giving us 500 here and there, whatever that case may have been. So I was saving those every day for almost 2 months. I think I accumulated almost about 10,000 just from saving stuff. So once we found out that Ray was actually coming out, I ended up storing up on Cantina currency for the double drops. I think I stored and did the refreshes 2 days in advance. So when double drops came, I started off with about 1,000 Cantina currency from that, and ran real well for that. When the double drops hit, and they actually brought them back again, and I did the same thing and really put myself in a pretty good spot to get the vets. And I ended up unlocking them with only about a day to spare. So the timing was pretty perfect, and it worked out all right. Now came Tier 4. I was pretty excited in Tier 4 because I saw we got to use Ray. Ray I did have geared up already to Gear 11, and here's a quick look at some of her stats. She hits pretty hard. The mods I have on her actually are not my arena mods. I just slapped some generic crit damage mods on her and was just hoping that this would be enough. I was ready to swap out mods if I ended up losing with her, but I figured I'd give it a shot anyways and see how it goes. But she probably made this phase, or this stage anyways, pretty easy, because she was just leveling hard hit after hard hit on a lot of these guys and taking them out pretty quick. So Tier 4 wasn't awful. Yeah, Ray just kind of nailed everybody pretty good and made pretty quick work out of it, especially at the end, even though they had about 5 or 6 different troopers there. Everything I'd read up to this point was telling me that Tier 5 was going to be the hardest one of the 3, so I wasn't real sure how this was going to go. I figured as long as Finn was in it and Ray, I'd probably be in good shape, but they kind of wore me down over, and I think we might even have ended up losing Chewie at some point in this one, but as long as Finn and Ray were around, it really wasn't going to be too big of a problem. I'll be honest, I cheated on this one a little bit because I had heard what was kind of needed to do over the last few days. When we first started doing this battle, I had forgotten all about it until I saw that 6 cooldown meter or counter on Ray. So I knew we just had to get to that. Otherwise, I'd have probably just sat here and kept wailing on Kylo, just trying to take it out of him, and would have completely missed the whole point of this phase. But real similar to the CLS Old Ben portion, this one is, instead of the Old Ben sacrifice, it's get Ray as long as she can to last, so that she can get the special cutscene here between her and Kylo. It's actually a pretty cool scene. I loved the way they did it, and I was pretty into this one. This last tier was a lot of fun. Essentially, we're going to use our new Jedi in training Rey with a lightsaber to take on Kylo. I thought this one was pretty cool. They essentially give you an event unit, so all you got to do is get to this stage, and you pretty much are good to go with unlocking Rey. She goes, all she needs is a few turns, and I think Kylo is pretty much toast. I liked that they didn't make this one overly drawn out or too difficult. It's pretty much straightforward. You get there, you should be able to get her. So I enjoyed the event. I enjoyed what they did with it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And hopefully this was fun for you to at least see that you don't have to necessarily be a whale to unlock some of these characters. You just got to plan ahead, and saving for that long was kind of a pain, but I'm excited to use Rey, and hopefully she's worth it. Tomorrow I might do a video on gearing her up, so if so, I'll try and post it for you. Thanks a lot.